Yesterday, Newsweek released a very interesting picture of Donald Trump. It was entitled, Lazy Boy. Yeah, it's a cover they couldn't release with Obama. Not that they would, it would have been negative. Can't release any negative footage about Obama. There's a picture of Donald Trump sitting in a lazy boy recliner type chair. He's got Cheetos in one hand, a Coca-Cola in the other, and he's watching television. Now, with the caption, Donald Trump is bored and tired. Imagine how bad he'd feel if he had to do any work. The cover continues with a list of numbers for the Trump administration, including that the president has had 6 months in office and has passed 0 pieces of major legislation. Other news organizations have made similar jabs at the president, including CNN. President Trump's first 6 months in office, by the numbers. They start on his approval rating. Trump's approval ratings have flirted with and more recently crossed into historic lows. A recent Washington Post ABC News survey put the number at 36%. ABC News calling it the lowest 6-month approval rating of any president imposed dating back 70 years. Then they jump on the campaign rallies and press conferences. During his primary campaign, Trump not only held regular news conferences, he even took questions, live and on camera. But it's been a different story since he became president. From January 20 on, he has held only one solo press conference. How many bills did he sign into law? Trump has signed dozens of executive actions and presidential proclamations. Some have fared better than others. His travel ban, for instance, first caused chaos and was effectively shut down. In all, Trump has signed 42 bills into law. Most notable is the Accountability and Whistleblower Protection Act. It's bipartisan legislation that makes it easier for the VA to fire bad employees and offers stronger safeguards for would-be whistleblowers. Yeah, that's one we don't get a lot of talking about on mainstream media. You know, being that they are the press, you want a free press, but we don't talk about him protecting whistleblowers. International agreements the U.S. has left. In keeping with campaign pledges, Trump has withdrawn the U.S. from 2 major multilateral agreements. On his first Monday in the Oval Office, Trump signed an executive action to remove the U.S. from the negotiating process with the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or the TPP, which was a damn good thing, brother. A damn good thing. We did not need to be in the TPP. That strips unions, it strips countries of their rights, even of their sovereignty to govern their citizens and provide for their citizens. It lets corporations take over. What's the second? Oh yeah, the Paris climate deal. Yeah, which many people say that the U.S. was so lukewarm on it and so watered down that having the U.S. in it actually made the deal worse. Because we kind of set the bar. When we're setting the bar so low, other countries were just following suit. Now, with us out of the way, frankly, there may be actually more done to fight climate change. Now, of course, I would rather us to help fight climate change, lead the way. But we weren't leading the way under Obama, and we ain't leading the way under Trump. Okay, then they talk about a handshake with Macron, which I won't even cover because it's stupid. Then they move on to tweets. You know, for all of the drama surrounding Donald Trump's tweets and all of the naysayers about him tweeting, they sure cover it a lot. When are they just going to admit that Trump has been good for business and they've been so glad to take advantage of that business that it's all about the money for them? Anyway, since we won't get any honesty out of these hacks, from the moment Trump was sworn in on January 20th, at Real Donald Trump, as of Tuesday when this article was printed, he has tweeted 991 times. How's he spending his weekends? Well, we all know, and I've never understood this. I've never really got it. Why do people hammer presidents for playing golf? It's like we always have this golf thing. You know, to me, golf is a very boring sport. It's for people who want to do business deals. And maybe it's boring to me because I don't play golf. I don't have the time to play golf. I'd rather go fishing. And I haven't been able to do so for over a year now. But it's just this thing with golf. Like, doesn't like presidents, don't they do something besides play golf that we could measure and then compare one another to? Yeah, well, Trump has played a lot of golf. By our count, he has spent 21 of his first 26 weekends in office at properties bearing his name, and has spent 40 days at Trump brand golf properties. Now, just because he's at the property, they say, hey, you don't know if he's been playing golf, and they've been trying to rely on citizens to take pictures of Donald Trump playing golf in order to come up with their number. You know, look, all of this complaining about Trump spending too much time doing other things besides getting his president on leaves out the fact that maybe we're better off with him not doing so much. I mean, you know, like every day, all the time. I don't want a burnt-out president making rules, you know, like passing laws, executive orders. I just don't. I mean, last time Obama got bored, we bombed 7 countries. Last time Obama got bored, we started ramping up, marching our way down through TPP, and he would come out and give these speeches, you know, and people liked him because, you know, he was articulate, it was emotional, it hit you in the core. But what real legislative change was done? What executive order did he submit for any of those things that he was crying about on television? What did he do? What did he do with those? What did he do with those moments? The Trayvon moment, what did it materialize into? The Mike Brown moment, what did it materialize into? And I'm saying this to all those people out there because I'm tired of you being brainwashed by corporate media. Don't you realize that your perception of Donald Trump, just like with anyone else, is shaped by the media coverage that surrounds him? The only reason why you really liked Obama was because of the media coverage. That was the main thing. That was your only real way to know anything about him. So if the media is owned by, if 90% of media is owned by 6 corporations, right? Couldn't those 6 corporations decide how they want you to be perceived by the general public? And if that's so, couldn't that perception be altered at will by them? And couldn't that perception not be totally reality, but be, you know, based on whatever they decide to focus on? I mean, as a reality TV show star as Donald Trump is, don't you know he knows that? Could it be his fake news claims have more to do with the fact he knows how the machine works because it's been working on him and it's been working to his benefit for 30 years? Donald Trump plays a lot of golf. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I know one thing. We need him and we need Congress to work together to make changes that are necessary for American people and those abroad who we keep trampling with our regime change methods. That's what we need done. And we don't need articles about Trump tweets. How are you going to complain about a guy tweeting if all you're doing is amplifying his tweets by complaining about a guy tweeting? I just said the same thing twice, but I think you get where I'm coming from. It's not about being pro-Trump or anti-Obama. It's about being pro-truth, anti-bullshit. And what we are faced with right now is a bunch of nonsense. And it's been going on and on and on. And when I go into the streets of D.C., like I did earlier this week, people don't care. They're focused on their issues. They're focused on what's going on in their world. And frankly, who's been playing golf more or less in a graph may be pretty to you nerds and you political, I don't know, masturbators, but to the rest of the world who pay real bills, who worry about college tuition, who worry about having enough gas in the car to be able to go to work, those people could care less. Tell me I'm wrong. Subscribe to this channel.